Madam President, Excellencies, heads of state, heads of government, and higher representatives of the international community. First of all, I would like to present to you very respectfully the following. Let it be known to all whom these precincts may come in concern, to be kept sacrosanct by all. The rights of a sovereign or majesty is a term used in the civil law to designate certain rights which belong to each and every sovereignty, and which are deemed essential to its existence. A sovereign is a person, body, or state in which independent or supreme authority is invested. A chief ruler with supreme power, a king or other ruler in a monarchy. Independent is that which is not dependent, not subject to control, restriction, modification, or limitation from a given outside source. In law, such independence is called legibus salutis, meaning released from the law, not bound by the law, and so attaches the maxim of law. Legibus minister non tenetur in executione officii sui rigori aut retrocedi. The minister of the law is bound in the execution of his office, not to fly or retreat. Therefore, I, va in acer nefer, in specie neta nefer pro se, pro corpore regni, the nature nation, in regards of recorded declaration of nationality and in corporo hereditament, incorporated therein, a tile whip, persona ratum, hereditum appellationi venuit, heredes heredum in infinitum. By the title of heirs come the heirs of heirs into infinity. I am His Eminence, Imperial Grand Pharaoh, sovereign head of the pharaonic state of Virus, Amenta, with all appearances special and none general. Siue generis, the only one of his kind, and siue apteri naturu, a natural, interested, and protected person, and sovereign corporation soul, alien. Deus et modus, by all ways and means, do hereby state that I am competent to state matters set forth herein. I have personal knowledge of the facts that are stated herein. All facts stated herein are true, correct, complete, and certain, admissible as evidence, and solemnly affirmed by me in the same, and witnessed widely. Sapedi sigille, under the foot of seal, that I am a sovereign corporation soul, alien, invested with the supremacy of an overlord, owing allegiance to no one but the laws of nature, nature's God, and the great governor of the world. As one to whom fealty is due from all whom hold fiefdoms under me, I am clothed with legal rights according to the custom of feudal tenure, possessing in myself alone the union of power and authority. My power and authority is in no way limited by positive law. I am absolute in right absolute in power and absolute in liberty, to do as I please, exempt from law. I, as Nichiru, am natura naturata, as that which follows the necessity of God, as an attribute thereof, considered that which is in God, and which without God cannot be, nor be conceived. I am inscia natura, a being in nature, and not inscia rationis, being in mind, and do hereby state that in any action brought against me, that I am a deified person, and promulgator of natural law, and that as such exists in an ideal state of being that presupposes a definite right and wrong. All parties by human conduct in pursuit of me, in all actions brought against me, are obligated to specific performance under the express and obligatory rules of natural law as manifested by myself as a sovereign. As the mind of a sovereign is presumed to be coincident with that of the law and with that of which it ought to be, especially in ambiguous matters. In regards to all incorporated and related documents annexed to the commercial filing, having been made fully part thereof, filed in the commercial registry for public notice in the enforcement of the rights and benefits of myself, wherein the bond of capitale domino acceptare, held in due course by myself, demands and exacts the act of performance, and even upon which it is conditioned with all remedies available under the Uniform Commercial Code, subsections 2-107, include acts of replevin. Quando aliquid mandator et omni per quo prevenitur ad illu. When anything is commanded, everything by which it can be accomplished is also commanded. And I do hereby bring to the attention of any and all courts, for and on the record, attempting to contract or alleging any claim, charge, or levy against myself, a sovereign corporation sole alien, in regards to tripartite persons, non begur franchise nomi William Norris Brown Jr., Ian's Legis, or homoplagian franchisee nomi William Norris Brown Jr., natural person, with myself as respondere sans sovereign of said persons in tripartite. Quando de val jura concurrent in una persona equum est acti essent in diversis. When two rights concur in one person, it is the same as if they were in two separate persons. That whenever such courts shall attempt to summon the all capital letter assemblage, formatted, uppercase spelled name, has summoned in fact, in the instant matter, by proper identification, a legal fiction without form or substance, concerning the purported day, with myself being holder in due course of the document of title ad item, and that the surety of said debtor, example given, William Norris Brown Jr., natural person, was given in deodan to myself as the more worthier degree and quality of his species, which under feudal law became the immediate cause of death of the surety, and thus the immediate cancellation of debtor status, discharging in full any and all obligations, thereby causing a legal detriment to promise and commercial frustration of all matters sought, I do hereby state that I am under the following treaties signed by me and posted widely in the commercial registry in 2005. A. UN Declaration on the Granting of Independence to Colonial Countries and People, Treaty number 1514. B. C-169 Indigenous Tribal Convention Treaty. And C. Declaration of Independence Treaty in Congress, July 2nd, 1776. And thus I do hereby state that the aforementioned treaty in Category C is specifically binding on any and all U.S. courts, however evidence, wherein the term grant, give, bestow, and entitle are synonymous in law, and where the word grant in a treaty is meant not only a formal grant, but any concession, warrant, order, or permission to survey, possess, or settle, whether written or oral, expressed or presumed, from possession. And such a grant may be by law, may be made by law, as well as by a patent pursuant to law. Letters patent, open letters, as distinguished from letters closed, is an instrument proceeding from the government or sovereign of a county, country, to one or more individuals. The parties to the aforementioned instrument are Congress, Continental or Confederate United States, and B. Nature's God, under the laws of nature and the great governor of the world, under the Pharaonic state of Viridi of the Nichiru Nature Nation. All parties evidenced in the category of nature are specifically identified under the nationality of Nichiru, under ancient writings which are admissible under the federal rules of evidence, wherein any such document is in such condition as to create no suspicion as to its authenticity, being in a place where, if authentic, would likely be, and has been in existence for 20 years or more at the time it was offered. And therefore I, having presented such documents, causing the same to be recorded in the commercial registry therewith, giving public notice by publication in 2005, and having filed affidavit of negative averment and in corporal hereditament, declaration of nationality, thereby denouncing in the same, 1. United States citizenship, 2. Any and all corporate veils of Negro, colored, black, Moor, Afro-American, African-American, descendants of mixed Negro blood ancestry, or descendants from the constructed trust territory of Africa under the term Afrikaners, wherein all such designations of said people are in fact counterfeit. And thus I am a collateral line descendant and third-party donee beneficiary intended to the public trust of these United States, with all trust territories, lands, goods, merchandise, and services of the United States privy to myself, sedi que use, without prejudice and without recourse. Said instrument, which forms a treaty between the United States of America and the Pharaonic state of Viridi, is signed by both contracting parties, all signatures appearing on the instrument itself, Declaration of Independence, signed by members of Congress, the Continental or Confederate United States, and by symbolic delivery of the Great Seal of the United States, the reverse side, being the constructive delivery of the subject matter of a sale or gift where it is cumbersome or inaccessible by the actual delivery of some article which is conveniently accepted as the symbol or representation of it, or which renders access to it possible, or which is evidence of purchasers or donees' title to it. A signature is the act of putting one's own name at the end of an instrument to attest to its validity, and is the name as thus written. A signature may be written by hand, printed, stamped,